Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to cover more about Jeskola Buzz. Real quick, Jeskola Buzz is a free open source music development environment that has a lot of cool features that are different than your standard DAWs that you would see today, such as Pro Tools or Ableton. Long story short is I think Buzz is an incredible environment for composing music and even for mixing and mastering. I have written a lot of material myself in this environment, and I'd like to pass on some of the knowledge to new users out there. Even though it's a little bit dated, I think that anybody can find some value in this software just for the fact that you can get it for free. So anyway, the last few videos I've covered working around one of Buzz's biggest limitations, which is its ability to record and edit WAV audio clips or samples internally. We've determined that it's very possible to do all of this inside of Buzz. We've covered some external tools that will help us with this process as well. So I've already shown you two different workflows for taking recordings inside of Buzz, and I will link to those two videos. Now we're going to touch on actually editing the audio inside of Buzz today. So it was brought to my attention that I made a little bit of a mistake in one of my previous videos here. And I mistakenly said that Buzz is only able to work with 16-bit wave samples natively. That's not really a limitation that's put in place by Buzz itself. That's a limitation that's put in place by which sampler you're using to play back your wave sounds. So as long as you make sure you're using the most recent version of the Untitled Tracker, that's the Untitled Tracker 3, and again, I've provided a link to the page where they host all of these different Buzz machines available for download. The Untitled Tracker 3 is the most recent stable version, and they've added a few features and they've fixed a few problems with it. So now you can safely load and play back 32-bit wave samples inside of Buzz. It's no problem, it's no limitation. Okay, moving on. Okay, so now we are over here in Buzz. The first thing we want to do is go to the wave table. This is one up here on your top bar. You can tell because it looks like a wave on top of a table. And you can also click F9 to get over here. You'll see that I have my sample folder. It has all these lovely examples. So all we have to do to import some wave sounds into our song is just to click one of these and then click these left arrows over here. And that will import it from our folder over here into the wave table. And now that sound is now usable by Buzz. So there are now a few ways that we can go about editing and working with this audio. The old and somewhat archaic method to go about this would be to use one of Buzz's internal wave editor machines. So for instance, you go over here and search wave ed. We have this like Panics wave ed. And if we right click that, then we can just open the wave ed. And then it gives us a little environment that lets you edit a wave sound inside of here. You know, it has its own right click menu and stuff, so it isn't as limited as it seems when you first open it up. But we're not going to worry about any of that in this video because it's just kind of an outdated method. And I think that at least the best method for now is to use the internal editing features that are right here in the wave table when you load up Buzz. This whole thing down here is like a wave editing environment, and it's actually powerful enough to get some very basic editing jobs done. You don't want to do anything too crazy or in depth here. You know, we're just talking, you just recorded something and you want to remove that little silence from the start of it or at the end of it. Anyway, so let's just get into some basics here with the Wavetable's editor features. So you click and drag to select. You can double click to select all. Use the mouse wheel to zoom in or zoom out. And then we can right click to get into this options menu, which is where you're going to see most of the functionality in this editing environment comes from. You can do some volume type commands like normalize, mute, gain. You can fade in or fade out. A lot of your editing stuff, I mean, it's basic stuff here. Delete, trim, insert silence. You can turn the whole thing backwards. You can phase invert it. So this does a few useful things. Let's make a little selection here. Let's zoom in on that. So you can zoom in, you can drag this so it's exactly where you want it to be. And then let's just right click here, editing, and trim. You see it gives us this cool trimmed version of our sound. Right, and also up here you can click the stop button too to stop the sound, see? Right. So one of the real sucky parts here, and probably one of the biggest limitations of using this editing environment inside of the wavetable, is there is no undo or redo function as far as I can tell. And hopefully I'm mistaken there. If anybody out there can correct me on this one, please do. But as far as I can tell right now, there's only one way to undo a mistake if you make one, and unfortunately, that is to click right here and to clear the entire sound from the wavetable. It won't change the version that you have over here in the sample folder, so you can still just highlight this, import it back in, and it'll be the same that it ever was before you edited it. And I should mention that it's also possible to export these sounds from the wavetable back into your sample folder as a file that you can use later. It's pretty simple to do. Let's just make a little edit over here, and let's just do what we did before. Right click, editing, trim. Let's maybe increase the volume on this a little bit. Oh. Double click to select all. Volume, gain. It gives you this little knob. Make that a little bit louder, right? And then now let's highlight this, and we'll click these little right arrows. So that'll take it from the wavetable and export it over here into the sample folder. And it will give us a little dialog box. So let's just call this something else, like cool sound. And now when we refresh our folder over here, we'll see our cool sound has appeared in the list. We can go ahead and import that to the wavetable, and we can see the difference. Well, there's no difference between our example sound and our cool sound. We'll just load something else in there. You can see there's the first wave, there's the second wave, it's our edited version. Okay. And as you can imagine, we can also now take this cool sound and go take it into another program like Audacity or anywhere else that you would want to play with this or edit it or do anything else with the resulting audio. So my original plan was to go a little bit deeper into the editing and also to get into the continuous wave reader a little bit, but I also found out some pretty interesting stuff in the process of doing the research for this video. So brand new, as of 2020, somebody has made some really cool third-party plugins for Buzz. These aren't VST plugins, these are just native Buzz format. One is called the AudioBlock, one is called the EasyRec. And as far as I can tell, these are revolutionizing the way that people record and edit and play back audio inside of Buzz as we speak. So this is replacing the ASIO in method that I showed you. This is replacing the wavetable editor that we just covered in this video. This is truly going to be the way of the future for Buzz, it seems. Unfortunately, right now, all of this is just pretty new to me. I've just only now had a chance to download it and play with it a little bit before I sat down and started recording this. I kind of live under a rock as far as like Buzz updates and details go. I've been using this program since like 2006 or so, and I'm still kind of locked into doing some of the things the old school way. Sometimes I don't get the memo from the community when something really new and game-changing like this comes out. I'm going to go ahead and link a few forum posts from the Jeskola Buzz forums down below in the description, and this will hopefully give you a little bit more information on the AudioBlock and the EasyRec. Until then, I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to do some experimentation. At some point in the near future here, when I'm feeling competent in my abilities, I'm going to make another walkthrough tutorial video that are covering these two brand new Buzz machines that are revolutionizing the recording and the editing inside of the program. That being said, that's all I have for this time, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found this useful, and stay tuned for more like this. Catch some of my non-Buzz related educational videos. Catch some of the music that I make. And I think it'd be really cool if you could like the video and if you could subscribe and consider supporting me on Patreon too. For just a few dollars a month, you could help make this channel a lot cooler and help me upload better content a lot more often. And I have some pretty cool perks for people who sign up too. So I'm going to give a link to that down in the description too. Go ahead and check it out. If you can't afford to support me financially, then I totally understand. It's rough times for everyone right now, and there's no judgment. I'm just glad you tuned in. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have fun out there.